stun is going to help out. Oh, but they go for the Lapu-Lapu instead. Interesting. I mean, technically they do some of the same things.
Yeah.
Ground control, good damage.
At tapang dive na rin dito sa mIbb.
Yeah.
Pero alam mo, yung Sora plus the, yung Lapu-Lapu, it also allows for the Moskov pick for Savero sakali. I just wish that it will be yung mga ganitong klaseng hero. Instead, they will go the carry route. Carry Kalea combo.
Yeah.
No gatot catcha. Ano pa ba yung mga save dito para sa Falcons?
High loss.
High loss is there. Matutunan ka lang ng...
yeah. And I think that's why they pick it. I wonder if they're crazy enough to try pick off here. Maybe something like a Cho or a Kaja.
Kufra ulit?
Kufra again?
Kufra ulit? Pwede naman?
Maybe.
Beleric for the vengeance. But I think the safest is high loss. Tapos, yung Cho, potentially pwede rin naman dito sa side of Falcons.
What if they bring out the Beleric here? We mentioned Beleric earlier.
Yes. Parang pwede. That the Taunt works, Vengeance works, Revitalize works. But the Cho is the safest option. They will go for the glue. And I think this is the time that I would say Falcons really did have a better draft. Napakasolido.
Street, and now, hey, it's down to a best of 3 between one of these two teams. Team Falcons and ONIC Philippines looking to surpass the limitations, surpass the legacy, hell, make a new legacy at this point to get to the grand final spot. And this is the drafts they brought out here at midnight. I saw you celebrating a little bit.
Yeah, I like this glue pick from Team Falcons. Wolf was actually on point when he described what this brings for Team Falcons. The only downside of this glue pick is when you hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
When you hit the bikini bottom.
Yeah,
the bikini bottom.
We saw him hit the bikini bottom yesterday.
Yes.
When he went
We
9
did.
deaths.
Yes.
That was not where you want to be.
Yeah, if you lose out an early game mid-prio. But the thing is, in this game, you do have that pass to just die constantly every team fight. Because that's his job in this game. He's basically a body bag for this combo on the side of ONIC. Because if they don't burst the glue down, he can just reset the fight.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I would say for most glue roams right now is what you have to deal with, all right? You're living on the edge a little bit here, and that's why the glue roam can work out pretty well. But as we saw yesterday alone, there are situations where it's like, next thing you know, you're dying. You're the body bag for the team. But this can also help activate this lineup once again from Team Falcons, like we've seen throughout the series already. Kyle on the Suyo, you're able to do so many things. Super Marco can scale up quickly.
Yes. They just needed somebody that can actually open up the map or open up fights, and that basically is what glue is fitting into this composition, because you already have this Alice.
Yeah.
This Alice, as much as he wants to go frontline, he can, but the thing is, there's the shred from the Kalea combo, so you just needed double body bags.
Yeah, and Alice can be also somewhat of a more reliable person to go in for the secondary engage because of the capabilities through the Throne of Ruin. Kirk, though, gets to isolate 2 members. ONIC are starting to work on the turtle, all the while Flap finds a 3-man Throne of Ruin. Enough space has been created for ONIC, though. They secure turtle number 1.
Yeah, that was a good way to kind of approach that fight. ONIC was just fighting, kind of feigning to see if they would actually engage against Team Falcons, but nonetheless, it was to secure that first objective, that first turtle for them.
Yeah, weird choice for Kyle to actually commit a lot of the dashes that he has to try and burst on Kirk. They lost out on the turtle hold, which King Kong really held on. So this is going to allow the Liam to just constantly pressure the map with the Phantom Steed whenever it's up. And then they also have mid-prio. Now this is where the Kalea starts to become becoming scary. Ooh, Savero.
Yeah, I think he just used the BMI. Hold on, though, here in the river.
Yeah.
Ogwen gets his first death.
Yeah, that's probably a preview of what we're going to see about a handful of times throughout this game.
Yep. I mean, we just did mention that this is what's going to happen, especially after ONIC took that first turtle. So again, this Kalea is going to become a menace. And this river, nobody can walk past on the side of Team Falcons because they don't have prio for the Suyo, they don't have prio for the Alice, and then they don't really have the the kits yet or the items on the glue for him to be able to do his job as of right now.
Yeah. So much information provided by Super Friends there, as you just saw him, using the lantern to go and check the bushes here from Team Falcons, and that's what he does so much. And not only that, but depending if he decides to go ahead and build up the same way, get the Sky Piercer, second item usually is when we see him build it in.
Yeah.
Team Falcons is going to want to make sure that he doesn't get the stacks.
Yeah, this is the sad part, right? Like, Team Falcons, I like the maneuver that they did on mid. They brought in the numbers to sort of take over the mid prio. But then after they cleared the wave, Zul'Shin just stepped up and he was like, I'm zoning 3 heroes. I'm ready.
Yeah, because they haven't really let go of this river control despite what we've been seeing from Falcons and their potential in terms of the lineup. Because ONIC acknowledges the fact that that's really what they have to do. Just hold it down together because it's really waiting up until Savero can be a reliable source of damage that they can just go and commit for the fights. But now it seems like they will still try and start this next hurdle.
Yep, they're going to go ahead and start it up. Team Falcons has control of the space. Ogwin?
That's a flicker from Ogwin, a very aggressive engage at that. Now he finds the grab. It's going to be Brusco, but he gets isolated under the turret just the same. Haji gets the last hit on the objective, but ONIC are going for more. They're forced to flicker out of the RWM though, and Falcons will be okay, but they lose too.
It's a bit of an overcommitment from Falcons. The target was right. Ogwin immediately jumped onto Brusco to prevent the jump from ONIC Philippines, essentially delaying the team fight. They have to wait for the glue to step down from the Kalea first, but then Falcons overcommitted with the RWM, with Ogwin diving under the tower as well. And because of that, they lose out on tempo here for Falcons.
Yeah, they're gonna, ONIC's gonna play a little bit of tempo now by taking it down at the tier 1. Yeah, they traded out that kill there. Like I said, Ogwin, that's gonna happen to him. And sometimes if you're fighting around that turtle pit, you get dragged to the turret, you're engaged, you know, you're gonna go down. But that's what you said, Midnight. This glue works in a sense of you're there to open up the map, you're there to open some of these team fights. But unfortunately, if the team fight isn't kind of centered the way that it needs to be around the objectives, you're just pulled away from the team.
Yeah, you don't force it, basically. You slow the game down for ONIC so that they don't get to play fast with the Kalea combo. And Flap already was able to set up, he was able to cut the XP lane, and then they got the turtle set up, their turtle prio, took the position in the bush, but then again, Ogwin tried to force too deep onto Brusco, which spelled this tempo spill for ONIC.
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate because you feel that they also want to be a bit more proactive with the glue, but at the same time, it was just probably not the best target to go for in that particular sequence. So it could have worked differently, maybe if they changed or tweaked it a bit for the upcoming team fight, which might likely happen a few seconds from now.
Good gold build up there for Savero. You know, he's had all the time in the world to pretty much just go ahead and farm up. He's got a Corrosive Scythe working into his second item right now, but you know, farm-wise, he's had that experience, and this is the thing we see with the carry picks. You know, eventually, before you know it, your Team Falcons and your front line that's supposed to be tanky is getting shredded down by a carry. So this last turtle of the game, ONIC will all be here for this fight. They center around it to gain control for this. Team Falcons, we'll see if they want to contest it. Super Marco's got the stacks he's looking for on this Claude.
Oh, there goes the engage. The real world manipulation 2 laid down as a response, and Flap goes in with the Throne of Ruin. The Blazing Doom and 2, there's just so much AoE from Falcons as they secure the turtle as well, together with a kill on Brusco. Flap gets to be sacrificed though. It's still 4 members fighting against 4, but they will not push through.
What the hell is that reaction from Haji?
Yeah, it was so quick.
The title strike was on point from Brusco with the flicker. But as soon as he got down, there was already the real world manipulation from the Eve. Couldn't get the Tsunami Slam onto the Eve.
So did he press it while he was mid-air or something?
I think so. I think he just knew that, you know, he's going to get jumped on because they grouped up. Ogwin and Haji clumped up together. If we can only get an instant replay, it would have been, you know, it's going to be amazing because, again, these are the things that Falcons has to be aware of. The jumps from ONIC, they have to slow this initiations down to the point where even if the Kalea jumps, they prevent the damage dealers from pursuing the fight, from engaging, and that's what the RWM allowed. Savero couldn't really step in.
That's why that, you know, now that we've seen it, Team Falcons leaning towards this Eve pick has been so good for them. Through the games they've brought it out, it allows them to fight the game that they want to, especially if it's around that real world manipulation.
Yeah, and especially in that sequence, it's more of also being just a way to avoid or deny ONIC in their plan.
Savero, chill.
Yeah,
this is very, very risky, Savero.
Yeah, to be fair though, they do have right side prio, which just means that, you know, Falcons cannot really step over the side of the map because they have all the bush in check for ONIC Philippines. So he's able to play aggressive like that, but it's still a Suyo, you know? Like, you never know. Suyo with Blade Surge, Soul Sever hurts a lot.
And he didn't have the flicker too, so...
Yeah.
You know, so it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, you...
Giga Chad.
Yeah, Giga Chad things. They're up to this point of the tier 2. They're going to do some damage to it, but the rest of the Falcons centering around this. Lord's going to be up here shortly. So once again, we're going to see this fight for the objective come through as both junglers want to go ahead and reset, get the buffs that they need before they actually fight for it. Now, one thing that can happen here is a setup potential from ONIC, you know, utilizing the Kalea. If they want to go for a numbers advantage before even centering on the Lord, they can do that. So Team Falcons has to be a little cautious on how they approach the fight. Same thing can happen here, too. We've seen it time and time again with an Alice on your side.
Kyle?
Flap can set things up. Kyle's just going to go ahead and continue to push up top, just clearing up that wave.
Good thing. As soon as Carl showed up top, Ogren moved back because he knows like ONIC can just jump the glue at that moment. Honestly, for ONIC, they can, you know, the way they want to start this fight is just going on by one. Just take down one guy inside of Team Falcons and then just be done with it. But now they see the carry up top. They know there's no combo for this Kalea.
Yeah, and ONIC can be more precise with their timings, I guess, because earlier Falcons, the team fight broke out right after they were already more or less ready for the fight. Because Marco was done clearing the wave. They were all revealing themselves nearby. So it depends on ONIC if they do want to change the timings a bit more. But Falcons, again, Kyle is...
Yeah.
He's going to keep putting that pressure up there on the long lane.
Again, it's the blueprint, right? It's the game plan. Slow things down to the point where they cannot use this Kalea carry combo. Again, every time Kyle shows up topside, Owen moves back. This is a push and pull between these two teams. ONIC,
wait! Oh, now they go in though, but another great RWM! The response from Falcons is keeping them in check! They find Super Prince and Brusco! The mid-duo is gone!
Wow, they wanted to slow things down, but hey, Team Falcons are the one that like, let's go!
I mean, if you walk away from mid-prio like that, you give it to Team Falcons. They don't have the numbers on the side of ONIC. The Super family was not in the house.
You know what? I thought it was like the pull that was about to happen because we had a push-pull moment there, but it went push-push. Or it was just a fake pull, and then they went for another push.
Yeah, because nobody was pulling on the side of ONIC. Kirk stepped to the right side. They didn't have the numbers. And Team Falcons, when they jumped in, when they went in, ONIC was not SpongeBob. They were not ready.
they took them for a trip to Bikini Bottom, and they weren't ready, man. They're a different...
Rock bottom, dude.
But rock bottom. It feels bad to see that for ONIC, but hey, that's the nature of their composition. Caught off guard, and now they're going to lose some space here. Lord's going to slowly make its way up top.
Yeah, this Glue and Alice combo is making a big difference. This is why during the draft, even us on the panel, like the Filipino and English broadcast, we're all shouting and chanting Glue. In fact, we're chanting Hans Galleria.
Yeah. He's the
glue guy.
For context, he's the glue guy.
He's the glue guy, yeah. He's the glue master.
Yep, he's the glue main. And ever since the Patrick skin came out, I think he's picked it more often than he could.
It surpassed his most used hero.
He surpassed the legacy.
Yes, he did. And now let's see who does here in this fight! A three-man throne of ruin coming in from Flap. King Kong tries to isolate Kyle, and he somewhat succeeds. And now could it be Flap going out? Bruce does go in! But the grab gets used onto Kirk, and now he's isolated too.
Kirk
still has the flicker. Will not escape. Now it's Falcons going in for the re-engage, but they're losing out on HP. They might not want to fight this anymore. That might have been a dangerous flicker from Owen, and he might go down. He will in the hands of King Kong.
But then weren't we just saying push, pull, push, pull?
Yep. They took the punish. They didn't have the Alice ult. No Throne of Ruin. That's a big signal for ONIC to go in. Brusco with a flicker. Tsunami Slime on the backside. Falcons, they could have just disengaged, but they wanted to go in. They didn't have all the ults. They didn't have RWM, and then Ogun tried to look for a target. He tried to jump onto Severo, even using the flicker, but Severo was like, no, I can just dash out.
Yeah, there's, again, one of those moments where it's like, you know, that's that first Lord. You get your base turret, you can probably just disengage from it, but they decided to stay, and they got punished a bit.
Yeah, and we're going to be looking at this instant replay again. No big ults for Team Falcons. Kyle had a good angle for the Blade Surge, but didn't have enough damage, didn't have enough firepower. Even under the Blazing Duet, it wasn't really enough because they had to deal with the damage from the carry as well, the heals from the Surge of Life. All the while, Super Prince was just zoning the other members of Team Falcons.
Man, Team Falcons, though, still in control. Lord's going to be up here again. They've controlled the objective space for the majority of these objectives that have come up. ONIC, though, looks to be in fighting form. A win in nature now, too, for Severo, so he's got a little more room to work with on the defensive side.
Ogwin, though, with damage. He has a glowing wand and cursed helmet. So these cores on the side of ONIC, they have to be really careful. He just needed the Pauldron, honestly. Like now he can actually frontline versus the carry.
There were instances that this happened in the regular season too, right? Like the Molten, the straight into the Cursed Helmet type of build for the glue.
Yeah, he doesn't have to like build full tank here because the way that this glue works is that he also acts sort of like a damage dealer to threaten the carries, the Lapus, because if he goes full tank, then ONIC can just ignore, right? Because they had the damage. They can just ignore the glue jump. But now because Ogwin is building damage type on this glue, suddenly now Severo and Kirk, they have to be really careful because if they get jumped on, there's a good chance Ogwin has enough damage to put their HP down to a certain threshold where they cannot fight.
Yeah, that's why you saw him also earlier be a little more aggressive on the flicker. Sometimes you see him, you know, you typically do see that with glues in general, but even more so on this build.
Tsunami Slam on Ogwin. Doesn't have the immortality. Gets to flicker out to safety though, but that's a battle spell out for Team Falcons, and they force him to retreat.
Oh, that's big though.
He's gonna have to go back.
Yeah, they see Lapu.
They have control.
Yeah, they have to give.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they oh my lord, Falcons. Good patience. And Ogwin again, the sacrifice, the body bag. Severo even used ult. So there was no chance for ONIC to actually re-engage.
Yeah, good play on the map.
Just as we thought, it could have been an opening for ONIC. They weren't actually complete.
Yeah, again, they're not SpongeBob. They're not ready. And even if, let's say, yeah, sure, they're ready. They kill off this glue. What's next, right? You kill the glue. Now you have to deal with the Eve, the Claude, and then the Alice.
It's just...
Oh, now Flap has a Winter Crown. Bigger problem for ONIC.
Yep, Winter Crown locked in.
Even for carry. But the thing is, like, who does the first dive? It's either Flap.
Yeah.
And if you get caught in the real world, or even if you get caught by Ogwin.
Yeah, you're in a tough space. So this Lord's pushing up top. They're going to try to hold on. Conceal going to be used by Team Falcons.
They just want the turret. Super Marco, ooh, okay. Dealt as much damage as he could.
Yeah, they cleared out. They still have to deal with the Lord, though. So the waves aren't in favor right now of ONIC's push. That Lord should be shredded down really quickly, too.
Yeah.
They might get some damage to this mid turret, but I don't know, unless we see them try to force something.
Okay, it's Haji using the RWM first. King Kong responds with the Phantom Steed, but they're not really forcing fights under the turret.
Yeah, they're playing it chill. They know that Team Falcons, if they have to push, if they want to push the tower, they have to commit. And they just use the RWM from Haji, but it's not enough. It has to be the Alice coming in with the first skill.
Yep.
And then threat with the Throne of Ruin.
Yep.
But ONIC, again, they know that they cannot get outplayed if it's just the evil.
Yeah, even relying just on the real world manipulation, you can't really get into the base that way. It's really got to come from Flap, and at the same time, now you're in a position where if you do get caught in a bad team fight under a base turret like we've seen before, it can go completely wrong. This isn't a massive lead that Team Falcons has, although they have controlled the objective space. That's the main thing you can take from this, is just the nature of the lineup allows them to set up an area of control around the Lords that we've seen, and that's where ONIC's most big, like the biggest obstacle is for them.
Yeah.
Falcons could be potentially trying to set up for a play here. Again, this is where we also look to see what potential conceal plays can happen for Team Falcons, or even vice versa for ONIC.
I think if it only were like the wave down bottom that arrived earlier too, it's just like there's just too much more life left in this mid lane turret that they couldn't really risk it.
So the solution is so annoying. Like the amount of damages he's done all throughout this game is making it hard for Team Falcons actually to engage.
He got it again.
Yeah, they have to be really creative here for Falcons. Oh, conceal.
Oh, they're gonna, okay. Good call. Good information here.
Yeah, again, they have to be really creative. Imagine all this lead, And it's still hard for them to actually engage because, again, the threat of the combo is always there. And ONIC, even all throughout that pressure from the entire early to mid game, they're still on their feet right here because of the fact that if you look at their kills, right? 6 kills, look at Falcons. All the kills are on Flop and Haji.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Haji, Ogwin. Imagine if they find somebody else. Imagine if they find an Eve, if they find a Claude, or if they find the Suyo. Maybe they go for the weird angles here for ONIC.
Oh, Brusco jumping in.
Oh. Super Marco gets to dodge that. Brusco now gets knocked up by the lore. A not so good start for ONIC there. They lose out on the flicker.
Yeah, Marco didn't even need to purify that too. He just PMI'd.
I think the plan there for ONIC was to bait, but I don't know about that. Maybe not against Filipino players.
Yeah. At this point, this is pretty crucial. Brusco doesn't have the flicker available, so they're going to fight for this Evolved Lord. Again, Team Falcons has this long lane 2 over on the other side of the map. Kirk's going to make his way. Ogwin.
Ogwin starts it. He finds Super Friend.
Oh my lord. Okay.
He lands the grab, but then there's a flicker. So now they might go for the punish. But King Kong 2! King Kong 2! He gets trapped in the back line.
Sabero.
Fortunately gets to
Sabero.
escape though. Ogwin using the conceal also runs away. But Super Marco blazing duet in, popping the immortality for Brusco. And Hardy with the real world. Kyle finds Super Friends. And Brusco goes down next. It's a double for Haji, and they have a wave coming in. Sabero's doing his best, but he gets only pushed out of this turret. Team Falcons are going to match point.
What a way to